Anybody notice that I introduced a bug yesterday that we didn't have before? Go to some room other than the first one in the list, or other than general, really. Refresh the page, and it goes back to general every time. We didn't have that bug before yesterday. I introduced that bug during class yesterday, carelessly, not as a test. Yes, you all failed though. Had it been a test. I did realize it before I was even through the afternoon class. I was like, oh, I bet I broke that in the morning. So the issue now is we get the user out of local storage with component did mount. I think we did have it in component will mount, which if you read the documentation, they don't really want you to use for anything anymore. So it waits until it's actually rendered the page once already before it gets the user out of local storage, which means that the first time it runs these routes, this.signedIn is always going to be false. So if you're going to /room/Fortnite or whatever, it's going to hit this route because that's the one for room/room name. Then it's going to say signed in. Nope. Redirect to sign in, which means it no longer has the name of the other room in your path. And by the time you get logged in, it's going to send you to general. So we broke that. So we can fix that by doing it in the constructor. We don't have a constructor in app just yet, so let's add a constructor. So don't forget to call super. And then instead of state being set in a property initializer, we'll actually set it in the constructor. So this dot state equals that. Except now what we're going to do is get the user out of local storage right there in the constructor. And instead of setting this.state.user to an empty object, we'll set it to that user variable. And I'll take those lines out of component did mount. All component did mount is doing now is base.sync_state and auth on state changed. The constructor is setting the initial state. So we should probably also JSON.parse. It could be undefined. If we don't have a user in local storage, that could be undefined. So I will put or empty object there. So user will be initialized either as the user that we got out of local storage or as empty object. And that should achieve the effect of being able to go to a room other than general, like random, refreshing the page, and staying in that room. Cool. Load user from local storage in constructor.